Hey, family, welcome back.
Hey, everybody.
We are here today. We got a couple of questions that we'd like to answer. We thank you, everyone, for your continued support and dropping the comments, sending us your questions, and things that you'd like us to cover. So, we're going to jump right in today with our first question. I'm going to read it just to make sure that I get it right. It says, what about the issue of a wife being submissive to her husband, and what are your thoughts on that? Wow, that word submission. You don't like that. Anything with sub on it, we don't like it.
Unless it's a sandwich.
Yeah, that's about it. That's about it. Um, so I wrote down my answer to that. So I'll read it. But this is my thoughts on it. And please feel free to comment and let me know what you think as well. First of all, anyone who has had any degree of success in their marriage will tell you that you're in constant submission to one another. There's always a time where you're going to always to submit to the thoughts and the ideas of one another if you're going to be successful. However, I do understand the dynamic of headship. And as the head of your household, you are the first among equals. It does not mean that you are the first in importance, but it means that you are first in the order. You take the first hit. Anyone who attacks must first go through you. Headship is more about direction and navigation than dominance and rulership. The husband is the head of the house, and the wife is the heart of the house, and both equal in value and importance. Together, you become the template for your children, the pattern that they will follow until they reach a point in life where they have gained enough intel to begin to chart their own course. And the word literally submission, sub means to go under, and mission is a mission. So you're initially you're agreeing to go under or submit to someone else's mission. So with that being said, you can't demand submission if you don't have a mission. You got to have something to someone to join. You have to have a vision that is worth joining, someone joining themselves to it and joining their creativity and their thoughts to make the mission work. So, like I said, I do understand the concept of headship, and I do understand submission, but again, if you're going to have any degree of success in your marriage, you are constantly submitting to one another. You are. And long as you both understand your place in the relationship, again, I tell people all the time, I may be the head of my house, but my wife is the heart of my house. And without her, none of this works.
It takes both.
It takes both, absolutely. And again, and the main thing I'm reiterating, because it's important, being the head of the house doesn't make you first in value. It means you're just first in the order. We have a number system, 1 through 9. 0 through 9 is our number system. 2 may come before 7. That doesn't make 2 more important than 7. Just means that it comes in the order. So I think a lot of times when we start thinking about order, we start thinking about importance, and they're not synonymous. So it's important to understand that while you have a different place in the order as your household, your children, everyone has value. Everyone has importance, and everyone brings something that's important and significant to making the family what it should be.
That was good.
Thank you.
That was a good answer.
Thank you.
Wow, and thank you for submitting that question. And so my question, I almost feel unprepared, but my question was more in a place of how do you not lose yourself being a wife and mother? And to be honest, that's a tough one. And I think that the more that I thought about the question, the more that I realized that that's something that you have to be really intentional about. I think the way we are created, we are nature nurturers by nature. So we go in 1,000%. Being a wife, especially when it comes to being a mother, in those first few years in particular, as far as the care of our children resting on us the way it does and the way we take it to heart. I think it's very difficult not to lose yourself. And in some ways, I when I thought about it, I was almost like, man, that's almost impossible. And sometimes, early on, but the one word that kept coming to mind is you really have to be intentional. You have to make time for yourself. Find the time. I think in one of the things you have to make sure you have in place is a good support system. And that starts with your spouse. That starts with your husband. Husbands, for you, I think part of it is even you recognizing when we as your wives are losing ourselves in that process, and you taking that moment to care for us and nurture us and cover us, to say, no babe, what about you? Like, you are important. So I think part of that becomes when we lose ourselves, part of that falls on our mates to kind of reel us back in and pull us back in. Again, I think your support group is really important. Stay connected to your sisters, stay connected, to your moms, those mentors that you have in place, to make sure that you are staying the course and that you're taking time to love yourself.
Self-care.
and care for yourself. But it is, I think it is a difficult place to be. Like I said, especially early on, I think you navigate, you do the best you can to be mindful of yourself as you are caring for your husband and caring for your children. I do hope that helps, but again, I put that on. Part of it really is staying connected with those key people in your life that you are accountable to, because they'll reel you in. They'll help you and say, okay, Jackie, you've lost yourself here, and what about you? Yeah.
So recovery is possible. That's what we're saying.
It is. No, absolutely. And just because you might lose yourself for a minute doesn't mean that you're lost. It just means you have to take the time to devote loving yourself again. And it's important. And when you do that, you'll be your best self. You'll be the best wife you can be. You'll be the best mom you can be. And every other aspect of your life. The many hats that we wear. I'm every woman. It's all in me.
And she says she wasn't prepared. Sound prepared to me. That was excellent. Hopefully this helped. Again, keep the questions coming. We want to know your thoughts, your feelings, any way that we can help. Again, as we say all the time, we never confess to having all of the answers, but what we have learned, we want to give back and be able to help as much as we can. And most importantly, we want to stay married together. Peace and God bless.
God bless. Bye-bye.